I'm back, and I guess I will get out of the way of my Phalaenopsis dying spike is what I will do. um, but I will do this video because, well, like an idiot, I left the proper test kit behind with the betta aquarium again. Hence that whole saltwater test that I did yesterday. Couldn't test with the proper in-date kit, so I just wanted an idea of what was going on. But it was still the wrong kit. I need to get the other one home and test it properly. Although I kind of know what it's going to say. But anyway, I thought I would shoot this because these flowers up here are getting older. I think that's pretty clear at this point. Although only this first one really looks obvious that it's starting to fade. These others, well, they look a little more obvious about it in person than they do on film. But that's kind of expected. These up here are the oldest blooms. And that's one of the things I think about when they start to fade, because I want to know if, if it's really their time. Did they do okay, or could I improve something to help them last longer? And that's a big part of why I started this channel, so that I would have a record that I could refer back to. The only problem being, all of these blooms are older than the channel. You might recall the very first episode has this Phalaenopsis in it in full bloom. That was about 3 weeks ago. So how do I check their age? Well, I thought about it, and I remembered that my Facebook page has a shot of this spike in several different stages of growth. One of which being before there were any blooms. Because I was discovering that this was going to work. So I went back and I found out these blooms, especially these top 3 or 4, came out at the beginning of August. The post was done on August 2nd. It's a day or two old. Or was a day or two old by the time it got posted. So, August to now, not bad. Pretty long-lived blooms. I'm okay with that. And I was looking, and then we got this fairly healthy one, and down from it is another one that's fading. Now that concerns me, because this one up here and even this one up here should be more faded than this one closer to the tip. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, what could I have done wrong? Was there a cold day or something? And even that doesn't quite add up to why it would fade out of sequence. Because the one above it looks quite healthy. Okay, not perfectly healthy, but pretty healthy. And this one's fading faster than all of them. I mean, even this top one is looking a little bit better than this one. Not much, but a little bit. So I thought about it and thought, well, could it have been a cold night? I don't think so. My nitrates are high. Is it the nitrates in the water? Well, I haven't given it any water in really quite a while. It's not, it's hydrating. It's doing good. So I thought about it, and I remembered that bloom hasn't been right for a while now. You can see this one up here, that darker yellow down inside there. I don't know what it's called. I thought about, looking up what it's called, but I don't want to pretend that I know more than I do. I don't really worry too much about the anatomy of the blooms. But those little yellow pillow things in there, on this one, I think I can see it because I know what I'm looking at. But those brighter yellow, and this one were shriveled and orange. I kind of think that it tried to self-pollinate itself. And if that's the case, I guess I might get a seed pod. But I kind of doubt it because it was a poor pollination if it tried to self-pollinate. So, but it hasn't been perfect for a while. It had a deformation, so I think that's probably why it faded faster. I think it was intended to, either from the very beginning or after it tried to self-pollinate, both of which will shorten the bloom. I mean, if it doesn't bloom right to begin with, can you expect it to live a long life? Not really. And after a flower of any kind pollinates, the flower dies really quickly. And then in this case, there's the ovary where the seed pod would form on that stem behind the flower. And it might swell up and create a seed pod, but I doubt it. I think it was either deformed from the very beginning and had a short life, or maybe it tried to pollinate itself and got just far enough to kill the flower. Kind of sad, really. I mean, if it's going to pollinate, I might as well get a seed pod out of it. So I could do a video about growing a seed pod, even if I don't do anything with it. That's better than just losing a bloom. Oh well. There it is. These flowers started coming out at the beginning of August. So it's about time. I can accept them starting to go. It would have been nicer to see all these others bloomed out with them, but that wasn't what was meant to be. I don't think the plant ever intended them to come out at the same time. It just extended and wants to do more as these die. I don't know. If I spoke perfect orchid, I would be able to tell you, but it's a lot of guessing. Okay, I've rambled on about flowers long enough. I'll let you go and see you next time.